All right, so I hope you guys are doing well. If this is your first time joining Webinar Wednesday, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and as always, we're lucky to be joined by David Rockland, who is the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories, and a ton more. So David, welcome to the webinar.
Hey everybody, so glad to be with you for another Webinar Wednesday. We've got a bunch of great updates to share with you today, along with a super presentation, a great tip of the week that I think will benefit everybody, whether you've had a website for a long time here or if you're just getting started.
Absolutely. Yeah, today's tip of the week, everyone should be able to take something from it today. So super useful info coming your way. And we are streaming live on YouTube. So for those of you joining us on YouTube, hello, you can type in your comments. We are monitoring it and we can answer your questions throughout the webinar. If you're not subscribed to the Brilliant Directories YouTube channel, definitely invite you to join us there, brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube. You just click on the subscribe button. And it's a great way to get notified as soon as the webinar replays are available, new feature tutorials, the tips of the week, and tons more. And one of the benefits of streaming on YouTube Live is the replay will be immediately available, and we will post it shortly after the webinar finishes into the Facebook group. You can join us there, brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. I think we just passed 13,000 members in there. It's a fantastic, very positive and constructive group. If you're just getting started or you've been working on your site for a while, it's a great place to ask questions, bounce ideas off of fellow BDers, and just a great positive place while you're working on your BD site. So certainly invite everyone to join us there. And just a little bit quick snippet about Webinar Wednesdays. There are a few new names here. Who do we have here? Andrea, I think, is new. Glenn, Afshanafe, excuse me for butchering that, but welcome to the webinar. So just a little bit about Webinar Wednesday. So thanks to your suggestions and emailing into the support team week after week, we are pushing new updates and features into the platform. And Webinar Wednesday is a great way for us to share with you some of the upcoming or newly released features that can actually help you grow your community. So we'll cover topics related to increasing your traffic, converting visitors to members, identifying revenue opportunities, and more to help you grow your online community. Actually, today's tip of the week is about SEO, optimizing your SEO. So a part of it is increasing traffic and optimizing your SEO. So if you have questions on any of these topics or anything else about your membership site, please save them. We should have plenty of time towards the end of the webinar for the Q&A section. All right, and since the last webinar, there have been a ton of updates. More of them were small patches and fixes, not necessarily notable to visually show in the webinar. So I wanted to highlight some of the upcoming features that are coming down the line, and a lot of these are game-changing. We've mentioned some of these before, but now they are on the cusp of being released. So we're gonna start here with this big one here about the email newsletters. We've been talking about it for months. I'm gonna show you, we've covered it in a previous webinar, but there are some new people here. I'm gonna show you a glimpse of the enhanced newsletter features and analytics that are coming soon. We hope to cross our fingers, have it ready in 2 weeks for the next webinar. If not, then the webinar immediately after that. But it's going through its QA testing now. It's a big overhaul update. So let me dive into that right now and just show you a quick snippet of what that's going to look like. So if you're sending newsletters from the BD system currently, this is not what it looks like. This is what it soon will look like. So right here, just on the main page, you're gonna get a better snapshot of your stats, delivers, fails, opens, and clicks. And you can click on any one of these numbers and you'll see the actual people who comprise this category for this specific email newsletter. From this, you can also create smart lists. So if you wanted to segment out people who opened a particular newsletter and then omit them from a future newsletter, vice versa, you'll have those capabilities. Let's quickly dive into creating a new newsletter. We'll just give it a name called Webinar Test. And what's nice is from here, you can actually choose from previous newsletters you sent, and you can start working on them. I'll just choose a welcome email here, and you can see a preview of it. So if this isn't the one, you can choose from another one and find the nickname of the template. So after this release, we'll start adding in more designed email newsletters for you to choose from as your starting point. In addition to that, we'll also release shortly after this a few additional draggable content blocks so you can build newsletters a lot quicker. Right now, there's 4 essential blocks here that pretty much, I think, covers 60, 75% of the design you'd want to do with the newsletter. So we'll add in a few more blocks just to give you that a little bit more control. So now we're here. Most notably, now when you're creating a newsletter, you can edit this newsletter here. You don't have to create the template and then pin it to the newsletter and all that. So you can edit your newsletter here. I'll go to the preview tab. You get a nice preview of your newsletter here. And what's nice is, and we'll improve this over time as well, but you can put a member ID here. So if you're using variables like their first name or their email address, you can actually see what the email template will look like with a sample member's info pre-filled in here in the preview window. So that'll be a nice touch there. And I think the most valuable part of the new email newsletter update is the ability to include smart lists, but more importantly, you can exclude smart lists. So it'll send to everyone on this list, but it'll also exclude people who are on this list. So if they happen to be in the all members list, but they are in this don't send to list, they will be omitted, giving you more granular control of your newsletters. And then lastly, if we go to the schedule email newsletter tab here, the best part about this is currently you can just send your email newsletters now. So if you want to send it early in the morning, you got to wake up and click that button. With this update, you'll be able to schedule your newsletters for the future. So you can select tomorrow at 8 a.m. And what's nice about this as well, it will be pinned to your website's time zone. So you'll be sending it, in this example, 8 a.m. at the time zone you've set for your website. So we're really excited about this newsletter update, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be released by the next webinar. All right, this next one here is currently being worked on. We're also a few weeks out from this, but this is a really big section of the admin. It's going to make a big impact. The ability to tag members in the admin area. You can, as the admin, create custom tags and then pin members to those tags. But easier if I show you a visualization of what that looks like. So currently we have smart lists. Smart lists are basically groups of people based on filters you've created. Tags will be manually explicitly assigning members to tags you create. So it's going to be in the same section as the smart lists and tags. But here you'll be able to, as the admin, create custom tags. So if you want, people we love, people who said no, people who are in New York, people who are in New York, California, and Kansas, you can assign them a tag and then create a smart list of those people as you see fit. So you'll be able to create your tags here. And then from here, this is the quick edit pop-up. You can assign tags to a specific member. There'll also be a bulk action for this, so you can do a bulk search for certain members and assign or remove tags from them. And then lastly, when you're looking at your members on the search members page, you'll be able to search members who have a specific tag. So if you want people who attended an event and you want to manually assign a tag to them or what have you, this is going to give you that ability. And there's a lot of use cases for this, and we'll realize more at once it's released. So this is a little bit ways out, few weeks out, but it is coming soon. Also, another upcoming feature we're excited about, a very small change, but it's the ability to display the star rating on the home page for your recent members or your featured members. And let me show you that as well. So currently, with your streaming members on the home page, basically on the right side here, this everything pets, that's basically what you can have here. You can choose to show us the short description or their category and location. You can choose to show this button. What we're going to do is add the ability to add their star rating underneath their photograph as well. So a seemingly very simple update, but it should add a lot of color and animation to your homepage with those star ratings. And what's even cooler is you'll be able, in the settings for this, you'll have two settings, display star ratings or not, and then only display members with a certain level of star rating. So you can choose if star ratings are not required or they have to be 1 to 5 stars or greater. So you'll be able to have some control. So if you just want to show your 5-star or 4+ star members on the homepage, that's an incentive for your members to start getting reviews on your site so they can, show up on that spot. And this one here should be released soon as well. This one is the ability to search your members by their country name. So if you want it, and it checks their IP address. So what we're doing is we're checking their sign up IP for you guys or their last login IP, and we are pinning that to the country. and then you'll be able to search your members based on the country they signed up from or the login. So if you're noticing some spam on your site, you want to search a particular country, see if the spam is coming from there. You'll be able to do that with this. If a member says they're located in the United States, but their last login was in, I don't know, Myanmar or something like that, you might want to, further moderate that member and see what's going on there and things like that. So that's going to have a screenshot of that as well. So what you'll have here is another filter here and the user IP country, and you can check mark the countries you want to search. And also here next to the IP address, we will put the actual name of the country here so you can visually see that as well. So you don't necessarily always have to search, but you'll have an indicator here with the country name. So again, this will be a great way to kind of moderate members a bit better and see if there's any trends. Maybe you serve the UK and you're noticing a lot of people from Ireland or nearby countries in Europe signing up. You might want to extend your market reach to those new segments. All right, this is another big one, and it again should be released in, these are all a few weeks out, but email alerts for new comments on posts. So a while ago, we released the feature where you can leave comments on posts, reply to post comments, but there were never email alerts for those. So we've created the logic of how we want to implement that effectively on a post page, like a blog article or an event or a coupon, whatever type of post it might be. You'll have this follow comments dropdown. And you can choose to get the person who's logged in, you have to be a member to follow comments, so they'll get the express member registration or whatever it is. And they can choose to get notified for any new comments, only replies to their own comments, and then if they are following something, they can choose to stop following the comments as well. So it's going to be something like this, and then it'll be a simple email template that just sends a notification ping to them. Probably in a phase 2, we'll implement a webhook or something of that nature, so you can set up kind of a SMS text messages for this type of thing if you wanted to as well. And then lastly here, we've announced this earlier. We were trying to figure out the data providers to work with and things like that, but we are going to have a new add-on for instant business data. This is going to give you access to millions of business records. You can do a search for a location and a category like dentists in Milwaukee, and it'll show you how many results there are, and you can choose how many you want to add to your site. Every BD site is going to get like a minimum of 25 or 50 data records that they can add to their site. And then what we've done is we tried to negotiate and find the best data source to give value to BDers. So for additional data that you want to your site, it'll be at a nominal cost, pennies on the dollar for the data. So that's coming soon, and we actually do have a screenshot of what that add-on would look like. Shout out to the arts department, actually David Rockland, the digital strategist here, coming up with the cover photo for the add-on, Instant Business Data. This one is going to come on the tails of the tagging system. So the tagging system is going to come first, and the reason for that is when you choose to import or bulk import some business data, we want to make sure you can tag that group of members. And when you tag it, then you can export them, you know where they came from. If you need to delete them or re-add them, you'll basically have maneuverability and control. So some big updates here. Before we move on to the tip of the week, feel free to raise your hand and ask any questions about these upcoming features, maybe a comment that you have, which one you're excited about, and then we'll move on to the tip. So feel free to raise your hand. Let's see if we have any questions. And we got Stephen here. All right, Stephen, how you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you so much.
Great updates. I have a quick clarification question, and then also a question about something you had mentioned a long time ago to see if it's still in the works or ever going to be in the works.
Sure.
First question is the tags. I guess I'm just not understanding the difference between tags and smart lists, because it sounds like you can do, I'm just trying to understand the use case.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So a smart list is dynamic. So if you make a smart list of all your active members or all your members in California, new people who who sign up and say they're in California will automatically be added to that smart list. It's almost like a living thing. With the tags, it's static, meaning you're going to explicitly tag people based on certain actions they take. And this is just the beginning. Once this is implemented with Zapier, and if members do certain actions like fill out forms on third-party sites and you want to tag them that they filled out this form from your other, it's going to be really versatile how you can use the tagging system. And then from the tags, you can create smart lists based on those who's tagged and who has certain tags.
Got it. So you can create a smart list from a tag. Okay, is that going to happen later, or does it happen once?
That's being worked on now. So we're looking for in the next few weeks. So April, May, that should be released. And then right after that's released, we're going to focus on the instant business data coming on the tails of that.
Okay, great. And then
on the heels of that, I should say.
All right, the next question that I have, again, this is a risk that you guys have when you kind of mention what's forthcoming. But a while ago, you had mentioned that there was consideration whereby the BD administration, whereby the member can download their LinkedIn profile pretty easily, like click a button and everything gets downloaded and populated over at BD side. Is that something that's still being considered, or is it sort of off the list? Or
if we mentioned that, it was probably years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know when people sign up using the Facebook login, it does fetch their name and their email address, of course, because that's going to be their login. Yeah. But it doesn't take like their profile photo, their phone number, and stuff like that. I think it was dialed back because of like data security stuff and that Cambridge thing that happened. And but that's not the real reason. But but the LinkedIn
it's not on the
thing,
list. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not on the list. Yeah,
it's fair enough. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thanks. That's it.
All right, good questions as always, Stephen. Thank you. All right, let's see if anyone else has their hand up here. Yep, I see Rich here. All right, Rich, how you doing today?
So, one question on the star reviews, and then two rapid fire questions, time permitting, or after the tip of the week. But on these star reviews, badge, you'll be able to view those on the profile. Can we add like the verified, check as well, or any badges? Or
that's the verified would be a valid one. Let me make a note of that. Actually, just a moment here.
And actually, badges are kind of cool. Like a lot of websites, will have like little icon representing, the type of member. But I know verified is already part of the program. But that'd be kind of cool to add to the stars.
Yeah,
that's what people. Awesome. Okay, and I have a question like on the newsletter, because it's a pretty powerful system. Is there a way to any way to be able to take like a member's profile and kind of autofill it in the newsletter by just putting in, their member, a link to their profile that would either be embedded or would auto-populate? Like sometimes you can do that on LinkedIn or other stuff where you put in the URL like on Twitter or social media, and it'll carry over the images, because we think it'd be kind of cool in the newsletter to feature members, but not have to copy and paste, their photo and all their content.
Gotcha. So like a card of a member, but you would have to put the card in there and then also specify which member you want that card to be pre-filled with.
Yeah.
Probably not specifically that, but what I can imagine is we could create a content block that is kind of set up for that. So you just have to change the image and their name and just a couple pieces of data, but the layout of it would lend itself to something like that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool, because if we can, with the newsletter, be able to spotlight, our rock star members or that kind of thing, or new members, our group, whatever, that'd be cool. Okay, and then
that's an interesting one, actually. Thank you for suggesting that.
Cool. And then last question, since I'm on a rapid fire on a roll here, unless I'm missing something, is there a way like when people go to log in that they're, if you can pull up you may or may not have to pull up a website, but like when they type in their password, there's the view option that are a lot of websites, so they can prevent from, having a typo in their password, where you have that little view icon.
Yeah, the eyeball where it kind of, you can see your password as you're typing. Yeah, I think that was on our roadmap, actually. It's just a little down the list.
That'd be super.
Changes. You think that would be super helpful?
Oh, big time, because I know, like, I'm logging in as most everybody is on a lot of different websites, and we all have different, password credentials requirements for all these different websites, and you forget your passwords and stuff like that, and you go to type it, and you can't recall it, but maybe you're typing it in wrong, or you can't visually see it, and so then after so many attempts, it logs you out, and you get frustrated. And then we have members kind of completely constantly resetting their password because they can't visually see it. So
I got you. We do have a card for that. I'll see where it is on our list. I think it's not too difficult as well. So thank you for mentioning that.
Cool. And then I'll save my last is about member credits. I'll save that as a cliffhanger for after the tip of the week, if time permits.
You got it, Rich.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you for that.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, we got one more here. We'll move on to the tip of the week. Got Roger. How you doing, Roger?
There we go. Am I on?
You're on, Roger. How are you today? Where are you calling in from?
Now?
No, you're good.
Okay, great, thanks. I had a question from last time and we ran out of time. I don't need you to actually show me how to do this, but I did put together a thing where my client could put on an event and let people register for it. And I have somehow screwed up the whole thing. And all I'm wondering is, where do you have a record of where you have your videos that show how to set that up properly? I did find one, but it looked like it was outdated because the links and things it said to go to weren't there anymore. So it was like it was an old video. So I was wondering if you had a newer one.
What was the video on?
On adding, using the event module to, or not module, but I guess it is.
The download digital, the digital products to sell event tickets.
Digital download stuff.
Gotcha.
Right.
All right. Yeah, let me send that to you real quick, and then we'll move on to the tip here.
Great.
Yeah, I got you here. Here you go. How to create and sell event tickets through your BD site. This should be what you're looking for. If not, have a look-see at it while we're doing the tip, and if not, we can find it in the Q&A section a little later.
Okay, it looks like the one I was on, but I'll check it out again. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, guys, let's move on to the tip of the week. Simon, I see your hand up there. Keep that hand up. We'll get to you in just a little bit. Today's tip of the week is SEO Roadmap, where to make edits to optimize your BD website's SEO. So we're not necessarily going to dive into SEO strategies and how to leverage them for Google, but we want to show you where you can access different places to edit the SEO of your site. So David was kind enough and did a great job putting together some slides covering this topic. And if it's all right, I can pass things over to you now, David.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, so we won't be diving into specific SEO strategies and tactics and best practices. There's just so many variables that go into search engine optimization with each and every website, just based on a bunch of different factors. But there is a lot of flexibility with the BD platform in terms of adding different content and editing certain SEO settings for your website to really try to optimize it as best as possible. And so that's what we wanted to cover in this tip of the week here, is where to go to make specific changes to your website's SEO. So starting off real basic here, just wanted to cover some real simple key points first. Why SEO is so important. Most of us probably know this, but if it's our first time building a website, search engine optimization is incredibly important for every website. Most of it is already done out of the box with BD, but having your website optimized for search engines can boost your site's visibility in search results, driving organic traffic. That's traffic that comes to our website naturally on its own. That in turn leads to credibility and trust with users when we're ranked highly in search results based on specific keywords and search terms. It's also an incredibly cost-effective way to gain website visitors and new members, long-term traffic without those ongoing advertising and other marketing costs. If we can optimize our website for search engines and being ranked high in search results, then hopefully we won't have to pay quite as much on other marketing efforts to get visitors to our website and gain new members. And then lastly here, just a little more broadly speaking, having high search rankings can help us stay ahead of any of our potential competitors in the industry or the niche that we're in, and increase our overall market share.
And just a quick tip, SEO is awesome and it is very important, but it should be one spoke on your marketing wheel. There's also there are ads, and you should certainly explore that if you can get a fair return on your investment with those. There's social marketing, There's referral programs, affiliate programs, and more. So SEO should be one spoke on that marketing wheel that you have, and I'll just leave it at that there.
Great point. And it's not something that we necessarily want to constantly obsess over. Really, a more important factor here is having unique content on our website that's relevant to the overall theme of our website, what users might be searching for in Google and other search engines. And so that brings us here to this slide, some of the key SEO elements. Meta titles. So this is basically just the title of the specific web page that we might be editing or creating. This obviously shows in search results. And we want to make sure that it does contain some of the primary keywords for whatever the page is talking about. We don't want to load it with keywords. It doesn't need to be a string of just random keywords, but it should include some of the main search terms that people might be searching for related to that page. Same thing with the description, the meta description in search results, that appears directly underneath the page title. So we can see that here in the screenshot to the right. This is just a screenshot of some Google search results. So we can see the meta title in blue and then the page description or the meta description just beneath that. Another SEO element would be meta keywords. So these aren't quite as critical as the titles, the descriptions, and the overall content as a whole. But if we have the ability to add keywords to specific pages, with BD we do want to add some keywords. And again, we want to make sure that they are relevant, and we don't want it to be just a long list of random keywords where we're kind of hoping to get ranked in each and every search result. We really want them to be specific. And also lastly here, main heading. We do only want to have one main heading per page. So if you're looking at the HTML code of a web page, that would be the H1. We only want one main heading per page. That should reflect the main content of the theme, similar to the page title. And then we can have some additional subheadings throughout the rest of the page or the piece of content that we're publishing. But again, here, the main thing is to emphasize unique and relevant content. We want to utilize relevant headings and subheadings. And if we can, we also want to incorporate internal and external links in the page or the content that we're publishing on our website. So if there's a piece of text in the blog article or the web page that we're publishing that is relevant to another piece of content or another page on our website, we want to link that so that if a visitor is reading that page, they can click that link to read some more information on another page on our website. Or if we want to link out to a third-party reputable website, we can do that as well.
And just some tips here about Google and Bing and how they display your website in their search results. Sometimes the title, even though you set an explicit title as it should be here, they're always experimenting with user experience, and sometimes they might amend what you've written, or they might take another piece of your page and show that as the title or the description. So if you're searching your site in Google, you might notice that they've modified things sometimes. And one more piece here that we actually forgot here, David, is the featured image. We've noticed in search results now, more and more search engines, again, not always, but they might include an image here on the right to complement the specific search result. BD sites do account for that. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, but another key SEO element I would say is what's called the OG image in the meta tag, and BD sites definitely include that. So just wanted to mention that as well. And yeah, with that, I guess this side, just moving on to this side, the good news is BD sites are SEO ready. They're pre-equipped with all the essential elements that are needed for Google to recognize and rank your site and your content. And as you add members and pages to your site, all the SEO value will continue to grow. A lot of questions from people who are kind of checking out Brilliant Directories is, do I need to build a page for each city that I want to target? Or do I need to make the profile page for each member? And the thing is, they're all dynamically created. As the member joins your site, their profile page is automatically created. We kind of take that for granted because it's so easy and seamless. Same thing with the search results pages. In older systems, you have to manually account for and create and build a specific search results page, but all of this is done dynamically. So just add, as you grow your site, the pages grow, and that helps with your SEO value. And now with that, I think, David, now we can go into kind of showing people where to make SEO edits on your site. And a lot of this stuff might be familiar for if you're familiar with the Brilliant Directories platform, but there's going to be a few gems in here that you may have not known. And I'll go ahead and start with the homepage. Where can we edit the SEO elements of your homepage? I'll try to breeze through these quickly because there's just a small handful of them. And if we have more questions, we can take them in the Q&A. So to edit your homepage SEO, and let me get a site queued up here that we can kind of practice on. Give me one quick moment. All right, perfect. So here's our webinar test site. So to edit the SEO of the homepage, and let's go to the homepage of this site here. So we can see the meta title, and let's look at the source code. That's always fun as well. So the meta title is here, the member directory. This is what would show in the Google search results as the title of the page, and then we see the description and the keywords. And if we scroll down a little bit more, we have the OG image. Let me search for that as well, and we'll show you where you can make that. So here's the OG image. There's an image set here. And let's go to the dashboard, go to My Content and Web Page Builder. And we're going to look for the first one here is usually Homepage, and we can click Edit. And you'll notice here, there's a link here. It says to go to the design settings. The homepage is a special page. You can have special elements on there and whatnot, the hero background. So it does tell you to go to design settings for some of those things. But every page in the web page builder has a tab called SEO settings. And again, this is what I was talking about. BD sites are kind of primed for your SEO. They are pre-filled with variables. So as you change the variables in your general settings, they will be adjusted for your site. And I will show you an example of that. Let's go to general settings. And we can see here, the industry name is professional and the profession name is members. These are just two small things you can do. Let's use the example there. Let's say the industry is interior design and the profession name was interior designer, and save the changes. And we'll just go ahead and refresh here, actually, the code view. And we'll notice that the title of the page now says Interior Designer Directory, find interior designers. And again, here's my new website that actually corresponds to the website name. So we can just call that whatever it might be here. So here we have several things that David pointed out, the page meta title, the description, and the keyword. If the variables are confusing for you, this is just so when a new site launches, it's all pre-filled for you. It'll just work dynamically. You could erase this and write your own meta title if you choose to. Same with the meta description. And a bonus here is the social media sharing. So if someone shares your homepage or whatever page it may be on social media, you can choose what the share title is going to be, the share description, and add a social media share image here, but this is also your OG image. So even if the site's not being shared on social media, you're going to want to, I highly recommend it, adding an image here so that even in the Google or Bing search results, when they choose to show an image for a specific page, there is a chance that they might show this image, and that's going to give you more real estate and visibility in those SERPs, in those search engine results. So that is basically where you can edit the home page. Now, very similar to the homepage, static pages, if you're creating one-off pages with the web page builder, that will follow suit. I'll just quickly go here to the web page builder. So we had our homepage, your pricing page, your about page. You might create static pages, as we call them, for many different reasons. Let's edit your about page. And here is the about page for the site. If we go to SEO settings, we have the page title, description, and keywords. Now, when we didn't see it on the home page because that is in the design settings, but for your static pages, this is your H1, your main title heading. And this is what David was talking about. This could be keyword friendly. It doesn't have to always be. It can just be, about us as it was earlier, because the user experience counts too. You don't want to keyword stuff your H1 title heading, but you can get clever and find ways to do this, like our interior design mission, right? So you're putting the word interior design in there as the example, and this is your about page and things like that. So you want it to make sense, the H1, because that's what people actually see on the page. I'll just go here real quick. So this is our mission and promise. That's what it was earlier. But the meta title you can get a little bit more creative with. And also you want something that people are going to click on, right? So the meta title can also be a little clickbaity. You don't want to make it too spammy or anything like that, but something that's going to encourage or compel a click from a user because that's what they're going to see in the search results when they're searching Google. And then the rest of the elements are the same here as well: title, description, keywords. Now about the keywords, Google dropped valuing the comma separated list of keywords a long time ago. They might attribute a small value to it, but people were just keyword stuffing in there, taking advantage of it. And really now Google looks at the whole context of an entire web page. So that specific meta tag, the meta keywords, is not very valued by Google at this time. And then of course we have the social media options here.
One point of clarification I do want to chime in with, we had Neil over on YouTube asking if BD automatically creates the H1, that main heading, for blog posts as well as pages and other forms of content. It does, and what we're kind of showing here throughout the rest of this presentation are just some extra steps you could take if you really wanted to make some specific SEO changes to the various pieces of content throughout your website. If you didn't want to do any of this, you don't have to. The BD system really does take care of pretty much everything straight out of the box in a more general sense.
I think that's well said. Everything is turnkey with the BD system. So if you don't want to do any of this, you don't have to do any of this. As your members create their profiles and posts and the search results pages, that pretty much is 99% of what your directory or membership site is. All the SEO is taken care of for you. This is just showing you where you can go if you want to enhance things a bit further. So this is more for navigation, and as David's like a roadmap on where to go to make certain changes. Once you reach a certain plateau, you're going to want to edge your site a bit more with SEO. Once you have your other mechanisms in place, like signing up members, the next frontier will be optimizing for SEO at some point with a website. All right, so the next section here are those dynamic pages. So what is a dynamic page? It's a page that's automatically created by the system, and all the SEO is taken care of for it. So if you don't have any members in Los Angeles, there's no Los Angeles page, there's no results there. But once someone joins from Los Angeles, that page will then automatically exist. The pretty URL, I'll show you the difference in a second, and it will be populated with members who are in that region. Now, what we want to do is figure out how to edit these dynamic pages, and let me show you what they are first. There's a section in Brilliant Directories called SEO Templates, and for newbies and things like that, it might seem a little foreign. So hopefully this little demo here will kind of debunk any confusion or what this might be about. So let's go to the front end of this site together, and notice I clicked on this magical orange button here, Visit Website. And when you do that Visit Website button, you have this kind of dark gray admin bar here. And let's actually do just an open search here. Click the search button. Here is a search results page, and it has the SEO elements right here. So we see a title here: interior designers, find and compare interior design professional. So again, that's all I did is change those two things in the general settings, and now we can see even the search results pages are optimized for the target market. We see the description, the keywords, etc. And we also see here the title, interior designer results, but this is not a static page. This page won't be found in the web page builder. Instead, it's going to be found in a place called SEO Templates. It's a dynamic page. And the way that we know that, if we come back here on the search results page, all we did was click this button, is when we have this navigation bar here, we can see that this is SEO Template 200. So there's SEO templates. There aren't 200 of them, but they're labeled in the 100s, 200s, 300s, etc. So let me just edit this SEO template. It should take me to the admin area. It's pre-filling 200 here in the filter, and I can go ahead and customize this one. And we can see here we're seeing a lot of variables. The profession name, that was the profession, interior designer, and then we have a text label for results. But we can get rid of all this and say the official interior designer directory, and we can even give it a subheading, say find and search interior designers. Okay, let's save the changes here. Okay, great. Let's go back to SEO templates, and it took me there. So that was number 200. Let's see where that is here. And it doesn't want to show me that for some reason. Of course, on the webinar on the demo site, but let's refresh it. Maybe something refreshed here. There we go. All right, so for some reason, it wasn't showing it back in the SEO templates. It should be a customized SEO template here. And there it is. It just took a second to get there. So here it is, the search results. And if we click on this, we can see here the official interior design directory, find interior design. So we've actually enhanced this page now. Instead of saying interior designer results, which actually is true for the directory, we have optimized this. So what we've done is we've identified, and now it has the SEO template 506 because we did go ahead and customize it. So that is a custom template, and we can always come back here and find out what template a dynamic page is using. And the same thing works for your post page. So if we go to latest news, these are the blogs on the site. It says website blog. We can go edit SEO template 300. So we can go here and we're going to customize this one. And this is the H1 and H2. And actually, David, we didn't cover this. This is a post type. It's the website blog post type. So I'm actually happy that we kind of ran into this here. To edit this, would it necessarily be, let me stop bouncing around, from the SEO template, because this is saying H1 and H2, but that is actually in the edit post settings. So for post types, for the search results pages, we can actually control the main heading and the subheading here in the edit post types page. So let's go to the blog edit post types, website blog, we'll edit this. And this has a search results design tab. And we can see here the search results page title H1 and H2. So website blog is pretty boring. We can just say interior design news and resources, zhuzh it up a bit. And then we say find everything interior design in our blog, or whatever, anything clever you want to come up with. But doing this, we're not locked into how the site comes delivered to you by default. That's just so we can deliver a site to many people at once. It is meant for you to make these small modifications. So let's refresh this page now. And it's not just the website blog, it's interior design news and resources, and that is good for SEO. You can probably come up with more clever titles, but that is the H1, the main heading, and it says find everything interior design in our blog. So that is how you can control the subheadings here. However, with the SEO template, even though the H1 and H2 were from the post type, we can, again, control the meta title, description, keywords, and so forth, the social media share image, etc. So let's come back here. Does that cover everything on this one, David? Because I know I go quick sometimes. The next slide is okay. The next slide is converting it so it doesn't work off of the dynamic engine and it turns into a static page. So let's see how we can do that together. So all of this is being powered. Basically, let's go back to the member search results page. It's being powered by the SEO template that kind of covers all the pages. So let's actually do a search for Los Angeles. I think this should be connected here. And let's search now. So it's done a search for Los Angeles in the member results. And we can see here that we have an H1, interior designer results, Los Angeles, California, United States of America. So maybe you don't want the country here in this search results page. And the search results have the most SEO templates because it does combinations of locations, which include countries, states, and cities, as well as their corresponding category combinations. So you can have city, state, and top level category, city, state, top level category, sub level category, and more. But again, it's all done for you. You don't necessarily have to edit it, but you certainly can. So this is telling us the SEO template is 216. And I want to go ahead and edit this, and we'll cut out the country name here, just as an example. So we see here search results, member, country, state, city. Let's customize this. And we can see here, it's adding all this here, city, state, country. Let's delete this. And let's actually move this stuff around. Results for the profession is interior designers. It's just wrapped in the variable. And I'll say in the state, the city, and the state. Let's save that. And that will affect all the city searches that happen on my site. So all the dynamic city searches that are created This will be the new H1 title. And then again, you can further modify the meta title, description, and keywords. So now it says results for interior designer. We can actually change that to be plural. Let me do that for you guys. Let's edit this. So to make any variable plural, instead of 3 percentage signs, we change it to 2 percentage signs, and that will make any variable plural. So let's come here and refresh this. Results for interior designers in Los Angeles, California. So we've dropped the country, kind of rearranged the order of the elements here, but we have granular control. And another thing related to that is the page meta title. You can also rearrange it here. So it's saying city, state, country name. Maybe you want to get rid of the country name. And you can kind of, again, on these pages, I would recommend keeping the variables because that city name is going to constantly change and be dynamic. It's not like a static page, like your About Us page. These are dynamic, so you want to continue keeping the variables, but you can inject some keywords that you want the website as a whole to rank for, like interior designer directory at the end, just as an example. Spelling's not right, but we get the point here. So you can cut some out, you can add some in just to harden and strengthen your own website's SEO here. And let's learn how we can convert pages into static pages even further. So this is still a dynamic page. It's not a static page in your web page builder, but we can convert this to be a static web page. So let's do this. Let's click Create Static Page. And what we want to do is we want to find out what's called the pretty URL, because this is a search. It does. It's got all these kind of when you do a search on Amazon, it's got all this stuff here. But we know Amazon pages rank in Google. It's because they have a corresponding what's called a pretty URL. And if you do a Control U and look for the canonical URL, the pretty URL for this page is here, /Los Angeles, because that is what we searched for. So I did a Control U, it takes me to source code view here, and I look for canonical. You can just type in canon in your search, and I see here that it is Los Angeles. So what we can do is, let me backtrack a bit. We're going to hit Create Static Page, and I'm going to put Los Angeles here, and the page type is going to be a member search results page, and I'll just go ahead and save the changes. Perfect. Now, if we go to that URL, view page, the pretty URL is what ranks in Google. The dynamic URLs are not the ones that rank in Google. Those are when people are doing searches on your site. So now we have a page for Los Angeles. And let's update some things here. We can have a sidebar, show sidebar, the member search results sidebar on the left side. We can say this, Los Angeles, and we've talked about this in previous webinars, interior designers. And we can have a subheading. This is where you can have a hero section for specific areas of your site. I'm not going to get too much into this. I'll just do something pretty quick, and you can see how you can create static pages and then also further customize. Now, when you make it a static page, it's in your web page builder. I'll show you that real quick. This is taking a long time, so we'll just skip that for a moment. But let's save this, and I'll show you something you can do when it's a static page. Let's give it a nickname too. Let's make it Los Angeles. Let's call it a city page, Los Angeles members, and save the changes. And we'll go down to the web page builder. It's no longer a dynamic page. The member results will be dynamic, but the SEO will not be dynamic. It will be pinned to that page. So we can edit this city page now. We'll click edit. And when we do this, actually, because it is its own static page, we can actually put whatever we want in the meta title. We don't have to use the variables anymore because it's not pinned to other pages that might rely on that dynamic, those dynamic values. So Los Angeles interior designers, and we'll just say the name of the website. And of course, you can have a description. Let's save the changes. We'll refresh this here. Oops, not that one, this one here. We'll have the sidebar back here again. Okay, that's because I chose to have the hero section. Let me turn that off. We won't demo that in this example. Perfect, so we have Los Angeles interior designers, and I'll go back to that source code view here. And we can see here, Los Angeles interior designers, the name of the website, and we can see if the other elements are blank, they will fall back to the main SEO templates value. So you don't necessarily have to fill in those empty fields. but if you can, it will override what it's relying on from the main dynamic SEO template. So that's good for you guys to know out there who are doing these types of customizations and modifications to your site, that it will fall back and rely if these fields are left empty here. You could, if you want to actually have them blank for whatever reason, you could put a space bar in there and save your changes, and it should be blank. So just to recap, when you're on a search page, you can create static page, get the canonical URL. In this case, it would be /Los Angeles. If you're not familiar with going to the source code view, a good thing you can do is just come to the breadcrumbs on the member's profile page, and you can, for example, click on Los Angeles, and we see here United States, California, Los Angeles. I'll take the Los Angeles away. Now you have a page for California, and you can even take the United States away, and you have California here. So all the slugs, if you're just wanting to find the shortest path to a specific location, you can just do the breadcrumb, and let's actually do this. And we know /Los Angeles works, /California works. So again, all this is done for you within the BD platform. All right, moving on from here, the member profile pages. So to customize is customizing SEO template 100, and this is for the member profile pages. We'll click on this one here, Angelini Osteria, a restaurant here. And for the member profile pages, again, they have their own meta titles. Let's actually look at the source code. So this is Angelina Osteria Restaurants, Interior Designers. So if we wanted to add the location in the title, we certainly can. We see the description is created here. Connect with Angelina Osteria Restaurants in Los Angeles, California. Find Angelini Osteria reviews and more. So this particular description is focusing not only on the restaurant and the location, but also the reviews and connecting with them or contacting them. So let's go here to the site, and we can see that it is SEO template 100. And I noticed something here. Let's edit this. I would like to add their city or state name into the meta title. So what we can do here, and let me see, we have the location as a value here. So let's say we wanted to put full name, interior designer, and then we can put Los Angeles, that's their location. Looks like I cut something off there. Yes, okay, let me open this up a bit. Okay, hyphen location and hyphen industry. So let's save the changes. And we can see here it's Angelina Osteria. And we do have a cheat sheet somewhere in our documentation with some of the variables that are available to use. If we refresh this here now, we could see here now Los Angeles, California is in here as part of the meta title. So this is how you can edit the member profile page SEO metadata. And to take it a step further, you can actually modify the URL structure of the profile pages. So we can see here that the website URL for this profile is California, Los Angeles, restaurants, which is their top level category, even though they have many sub-level categories, 9 selected, and then their name. If you go to your settings, advanced settings, and then search for member profile URL structure. I'll just search for URL structure. We'll be able to see the current template and model that creates the member's profile page. So if we search for URL structure, we see here the member profile URL structure. So if there's a country available, it'll do that, the city name, top level category, and then the member name. And we can see the slugs being added one by one. But let's say we wanted to add their postal code. We can do so here. Their full state name if we wanted that, and then we can drag the order of that here, or we can use the short state name. So if we wanted CA instead of California, we can add this and remove this here. Now, this won't update existing members' profiles. It will, if members resave their information with different data for any one of these, or new members sign up, then their URL will be updated. That's because in case existing profiles are already ranking in Google, we don't want to lose that link juice and value that we have from them already. We'll cover it in just a little bit, but you can do the same with their post URLs. That's your blog posts, events, coupons, etc. There is a post URL structure here. Now, staying on topic with the member profile URL structure, this is for all members. This will be the model that it will use. However, you can create a custom URL for a specific member, and I do want to highlight that this is could be an upsell opportunity for site owners, or make it available only for your premium members. You, the admin, would have to manually set it for them. There are ways to allow them to do it, but generally you, the admin, would set the custom URL for them. Let me show you how to do that. So let's say this person wanted a shorter, just like your Facebook page, you wanted a shorter one. They didn't want the cookie cutter one that's coming with the site. Let me show you. You can go to the admin area under search members. And what's cool here is we can search even the URL of a member. So this keyword field searches a lot, actually. So Angelini Osteria, let's go and do quick edit. Now this quick edit is you can edit specific elements for a specific member on your site. Of course, you, the admin, are going to do these things. And there's a tab here called Advanced Options. So for your coders out there and things like that, at the top here, just to let you know, you can include custom head, footer code like JavaScript, etc., or custom CSS on a single member's specific profile page. So you can get pretty granular here. The second thing here is customizing the listing URL. So this is the current URL for this member. Let's say we wanted to shorten that and just do Angelini Osteria and save the changes. Perfect. Let's see if that got saved. So now if we come here and we want to go, that should be their new profile URL. A lot shorter, a lot cleaner. Some members might value that. Maybe not. Maybe you can sell this to members as an upsell or a premium feature to have kind of a premium handle URL for their profile page. A lot easier to share, obviously, because it is shorter. And in addition to that, the custom URL for a member in that quick edit pop-up. Let me find my place here. So you can customize the URL. And in addition to that, just like we talked about for all the web pages, you can customize the meta title. So you can fetch it from the dynamic SEO template if you want, and then make additional amendments and modifications to it. Again, same with the description and the meta keywords. It just pulls it from the dynamic one. So you can make modifications if you need it. So that is how we can do a quick edit on a specific member's meta SEO data as well as their listing URL. And kind of in the same vein, but for posts, like posts would be your blog articles, events, coupons, property listings, things like that. Same thing with the SEO templates. The SEO templates, the dynamic ones for example, all your single post pages. These are your blog articles, events, anything that's not a photo album with multi-photos that you kind of scroll through. That is SEO template 302. I won't go through all the specific details, but let me show you again how you can find that. So we can see if we go to a specific blog article here, SEO template. So this one's already been customized. It's in the 500s. Let's go there and see what we did. So we can see here, the meta details are here. So again, this is dynamic. When you're working in the SEO templates, remember that you don't want to hard code like a city name, unless that's the entire focus of your website. You want to stick with the variables, but you can put single text in here. For example, by, it's saying that who the article was published by and the full name of the author, which is the member, as well as their location. Maybe you don't want the location in this because your site has nothing to do with searching locations. So again, you can harden your SEO by removing things that might dilute the meta title value. The more keywords you have, it dilutes kind of the value of all the other keywords. That's why it's good to keep them concise. However, it's not bad to include things that are definitely relevant. So let's actually look at this article's title here, and let's see here. So this is sample SEO title, and let's see what else we had here. Oh, also, if there isn't information available, it won't necessarily include it, but I'm not seeing the full name of the member here. It should be included. Let's see here. This is posted by the website admin. We see there's no author information because it's a hidden profile. So the system is smart enough to know that when a member's profile is not searchable on the site, kind of like the admin of the site that has a member profile, or other members who might be hidden or members only, it will not show their name. However, so that's actually good to reference here. However, if it was available, it would have shown in the metadata there. So same logic and flow works here. You just search for the SEO template and then you can modify the information there. Also, so you can do that for your photo album pages and your single post pages. Also, as I mentioned before, the URL structure for your posts. Let's go back to the advanced setting here and search for URL structure. So we have the member profile URL and also the post URL structure. So we can see by default it's post type and post title. Those are the two required elements here, but you can include, for example, the post author's name, the post location, and other elements here, the post ID, the post category. So if you wanted to have a longer URL for your post, it's not necessarily a bad thing at all, but you can certainly create that URL structure here. And then any new posts that are created will follow this new URL structure for them. So in this case, we can just see this is blog and then the title of the article. That usually generally works very well. But yeah, you can edit that there. And the bonus here is similar to the member profile URLs, you can further enhance the URL of a specific post on your site. And this is something new we added not too long ago. So if there is a post here, so this one is sample blog article 3. Let's actually search for that one. We can go to our blogs here. Let's type this here and see if it picks that up. Nope. Let's see, sample blog. Doesn't want to find that. We'll come here. There we go. Okay, sample blog article 3. So what you have in these action links, so this is managed posts. This is all the posts of your site. This is your command center for all the user generated content on your site. If you click on customize URL, we can see here that it's using the default post URL. You can actually customize this and enhance it further if you want. You can, again, put whatever you need or want in here. And it will check if there's any duplicates, because you don't want duplicate URLs. 2 pages can't have the same URL. So it validates it, and you can enhance the URL of this post. And then, of course, if you do this, make sure that you're doing a redirect for your older post. I think the system may or may not create that redirect, but you want to make sure that if you're ever changing URLs for seasoned pages that have been online for a while, you are creating a corresponding 301 redirect that takes the old URL and forwards all traffic to the new URL. I won't go into too much detail, but let me show you where you would do those 301 redirects. They are in the Developer Hub, and you can go to 301 redirects, and you can create a new rule. We can see here updating the Angelina Osteria. It was automatically updated here. I didn't have to create that redirect. So this was the old URL, the source URL. It's redirecting to the new shorter one. I think updating the post URL will do the same thing. You can always come here and check. But if you need to create a new redirect rule, just put your source URL here, whatever it might be, and the new page that it's linking to. So yeah, important note for that. So yeah, URL structures, post URL structures. I think that ends all the areas where you can, again, this was a roadmap on where to edit SEO on your site. And David, do you think we left out anything or should cover any final notes with this?
I think that covers the basics here.
Okay, fantastic. I know it was a mouthful, but it's important stuff to know. And there's even more we can do, but we kind of just did the surface level items here. So with that, we can move on to the Q&A section. This is a free form. You can ask questions about your sites, raise your hands. Those of you who waited patiently, thank you so much. If you have questions at the tip of the week, etc., now would be the time. Just raise your hand or type them in on YouTube, and we will try to get to as many questions as we can. I see a lot of hands up. I'll start here with Bill at the top of the list. How you doing, Bill?
Are you there? Sorry.
How you doing today?
Good, thank you. So when somebody fills out a form on my website and I reply to them from the platform, is there a way, like I can see that a reply was sent, but is there a way I can actually see what the message was that I sent to them?
I love that you're asking that question. We are focused on, with the email newsletter updates, part of that it will be creating an outbox. And that outbox will store what your reply was if you emailed them through the system. So coming soon is the answer for that. And you'll have an outbox. What it's going to do is reconcile all your outbound mail and also show you what the body of that email was.
Yeah, because it'll be helpful for when my VA goes in there, she can just copy and paste the response when she sees something that's recurring. Cool.
Right, I'm with you there. Thank you for asking.
All right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. All right, we got Dwayne here. Let me unmute you, Dwayne. Make sure you're unmuted on your end there. How you doing, Dwayne?
I'm doing great. So when someone writes a review, is there a way to add stars to that? So instead of just the basic type it in where they could actually star rate it for a member?
Okay, let's go to, so when people leave a review for a member, they're choosing a star rating automatically, actually. So here, let me let me make sure I'm sharing my screen here. Yep. So if we go to write a review, Dwayne, there's a title, the actual review, and then there's a few criteria here that can be ranked.
See, I don't have any of that criteria on my site. So how would I get that?
Can we check your site real quick together?
Sure.
What's the name of it?
Reviewlocalbiz.com.
That's an important site to have reviews on. Let's get there. Let's get that working for you. All right, let me quickly go to a member's profile page on your site. We can have it remember mine. Oops, I went too quick there. All right, yeah, we can allow that. Okay, we'll do Griffin's Auto Repair, and we'll write a review. Okay, yeah, I do see the criteria is missing here. There's two reasons that might be happening, and we can get that fixed for you. Let me just check one thing here. It's either the text labels are empty, because sometimes people don't want all the criteria. They maybe just want the overall rating. So these are text labels. They're dynamic text that you can clear out, and it removes the entire line from here. So let's check your text labels first. And you do have your text labels, which would lead me to believe that it might be a custom form would be the second thing. And it is not a form, which would lastly lead me to believe that it might be some CSS on the site. Granted, this is an odd one here that we're seeing. I haven't seen the star ratings not display on a site. Let me see, let me check with if anyone is texting me on the side here with reasons for that. That is an odd one. Let me just check your custom widgets here. Nope, you don't have anything here that would affect that specifically. Let me do one more thing. Let's open up show widgets. This will show us anything custom on this page here. Nothing out of the ordinary. That's just a review here. Display rating options. Okay. Under membership plans, I think there is a setting for hiding the star ratings. Just a moment. Let me check that.
So that's not. So right now they're still as an unclaimed. Could that be it? Because they're unclaimed.
Let's check out this thing here. I don't think it's because they're unclaimed. I think it might be pinned to the membership plan. So let me find out what membership plan this person is. And this would be we're watching troubleshooting in action here. So this is unclaimed, and I'm going to search for review. And under profile page, let's see here. There's something hide review star rating option. That's what it is. So we're going to not hide that and save the changes. There was a setting for it. So again, some sites don't need the star ratings altogether, so it just hides them. So there you go. So now they're back on your site. So just to recap, we edited the specific membership plan. That's not on by default. So maybe as you were kind of modifying things potentially, or somebody triggered that on. But it's under the profile page tab and all the member review settings. We want to make sure this is off. Hide review star rating options.
Easy enough. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, great. Yeah, we just troubleshoot a few things there, but we got it for you, Dwayne. All right, let's keep going down the list here. I see Lisa. Let me get you here, Lisa. How you doing today?
Hi, Jason. I want to say, first of all, the newsletter thing and the SEO thing is right on time for me, because I'm working on both of those things. So my question is, for newsletters, when your variables, will you be supplying a more robust list of variables that we can add to those newsletters?
What type of variables will you be expecting or wanting?
So, I mean, obviously the regular ones that are in the email templates already, and it would be helpful to have at least one where they can either log into their member dashboard or go to their profile page, so that if I say to them, do you have this turned on your profile, click here to view your live profile.
I gotcha. Okay.
It gets me clicks. Like, I call it a company listing page. And right. When I came from WordPress, I had one built into my email templates so that they could immediately go either log into their backend or go directly to their live profile.
I'm with you. Those are great. Those are great variables.
I'll probably come up with more, because I have been on an email crusade for the past couple of years. And that's why I say I've been using ActiveCampaign, and if I can switch over to BD and have it more internally and not have to do so much webhooking, that would be,
right. I'm with you. Okay. I know two other variables that you might like is one is going to be their profile photo image or their logo photo image, which could come in handy when you're creating some emails. And also, I think like Rich was mentioning, like just a little module that would stream like recent members or some other dynamic content on the site that it just kind of does a simple layout of some dynamic content from the site. So
that would be really helpful because that is a great upsell, you know, for sponsored newsletters and stuff like that, where you can plug in that little module and it's already filled in for you. I love that idea when he mentioned it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you for the positive support and feedback. Appreciate it, Lisa.
And then the only other comment I have on the update was, will there be a post notification for admins? In your updates, you said that people were going to be able to get an email when they posted a comment on a post.
Yes. So actually, that's a good question. So currently, the admin, I think, does not get notified. Actually, that would be an admin setting. I'll add that as a note there, so you can get pinged whenever there's a new reply to any post as well.
Yeah.
Because right now you can moderate posts, but there's no ping. You got to log into your admin to check manually. So I think I will add that to there as well. So admin email notification when new post comment created, and that's going to be an admin setting, not a front end setting when you're looking at a post. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Lisa. That's fire right there. All right, good stuff. And we got Sean here. I'm going to unmute you, Sean.
Okay. Hi. I appreciate that. We're talking about the SEO. A couple of questions. Are we able to purchase a dedicated IP for hosting? I know you guys, as a part of the package.
Say that. Well, it was a little hard to hear you. Are you able to purchase what?
Dedicated IP.
Dedicated IP. Yes, I think you can email the BD support team, and they have a dedicated IP option. I forget how much it runs. I think it's somewhere, don't quote me on this, I think it's $35 to $100 or something for a dedicated IP. So yes.
Is it per month?
You know what, I'm not too familiar on that because I don't see it so much. I know we offer it. I should know the price, to be honest. That's shame on me. But email the support team. It is a product that or service they offer, having a dedicated IP for your site. To my knowledge, I'm 70% sure on that. They would have more pricing information on that.
Yeah, because you're facing some bad neighborhood IP or some website that they're using the same IP and they don't have any reputation from Google perspective, so it's hurting our SEO. We do it massively on Directory. The other question I had, I think last time I asked, is it possible to be able to sort based on the reviews per member? So when you go to the back office, there is a drop-down menu that shows you the latest and newest, more credits or more revenue. But does it show for our purpose, for marketing purpose, which of the member they have the highest or sort based on the number of the view in our directory? Because that's an issue for us when we try to resell or renew their membership. It's very important to show them that, hey, since that date, you received 2,000 reviews or 190 reviews. But
so no, you bring up a good point here. So we have the, there's a couple things you can do. Let me show you real quick, okay? Let me find a member that has reviews on this site real quick. I'll show you what you can do. Let me go to, anyone have a review here? This guy has a review. Okay, sample member one, he has one review. If you go to, give me a moment here. Yes, there is a page you can link them to that's separate from their profile page that will show them how many reviews they have to answer your question. Let me show you how to get there, okay? Let me just copy this. And okay, his member ID is 1. So bear with me. Let me, again, I'm going to recall from the top of my head. So if we go to review or reviews, okay, so your site has a page called reviews. This site only has one review for one member. But if you do user ID equals 1, let me see if that works. Yeah, this should let me put 3 here, then there's no user ID 3 has no reviews. No, that wasn't correct. Let me think real quick. We just pushed this update. Let me ask the BD bot. How can I get the URL for search results for a specific member's reviews? Let's see. Let's cross our fingers here. Navigate. No, this is not correct. Okay. No, that's not correct answer. If you want to ask it in the Facebook group, because I just can't recall off the top of my head, there is a way to get a link. It's going to be, it's either user ID or, yeah, that's it. User ID, no underscore, I think. Yeah, there you go. See, user ID reviews. Let me put this in the chat here. And that will be the link for that. I had the underscore there. So it's without just user ID, no underscore, equals, and their ID number, and it will pull all the reviews they have here. But you gave me a good idea, actually. We have the profile statistics add-on. What we should add there is, because it tracks their profile count, since you're talking about wanting to add value before they cancel, this will show them how many clicks to their website they got, how many profile views they got. We should also, with those stats, show them the count of reviews that they have. So I'm going to make a note of that there. So thank you, Sean. All right, good questions there from Sean. Let me just quickly make a note here, guys, about this, the display reviews count. Thank you for that. All right, we got Veronica here. Let me unmute your microphone, Veronica. See, looks like you're muted on your end. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, how are you today?
Oh, excellent. Great. I'm new to BD, but I am loving it. It is a dream come true for me. I'm in the spa industry, and so I created a directory. I had the domain name Spa Events for 30 years, never used it.
Wow. Okay.
And now I am using it, and I was offered $15,000 for the domain name, so I'm thinking it's kind of hot.
Okay.
Nonetheless, created a directory for that. Didn't sleep for 4 days, got it up. It's running now. My question, I have a lot of questions, but I'm just going to ask one question today. So I put in the question chat, I have spaevents.com. Obviously, I want people to search for spa events, but I'm just wondering with SEO, how that's going to work. What is going to be some of the, 3 key factors that I need so that when people are searching for spa events, I'm thinking it's kind of almost a no-brainer, but then again, there's quite a few spa events going on out there that are probably using keyword spa events. So I'm thinking for me, less is going to be more because it's spa events. So what is your thought on that as far as what I should use for SEO and keywords and that type of thing in this situation?
Great question. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What is a spa event? We love spas at BD. We love our massages and it's a cool down, but what is a spa event?
Okay, so a spa event is like a spa expo for professionals. They go to different spa events. A spa event can be in your town. Maybe you're throwing a spa party. Maybe you are a product rep and you're doing, some product demos or something like that. A spa event can also be just, a spa or a spa professional, which I'm also having spa professionals to join on the site as members. But I've also looked at all of the different spa events that go on around the country. It can even be a tea expo, which we have the World Tea Expo every year. We have massage conferences. There's probably about 35 massage conferences that go on throughout the year.
I got you. Okay.
It's a lot. I have about 400 something people to reach out to for that.
I'm with you. Okay. So spa is like the broad name for it. So,
yeah.
And that's really good. My
even
suggestion,
vegans.
What do you mean?
Even vegans, like people who are like, health and wellness, holistic. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then, but everything you said so far is I'm thinking of hardware. It's like the spa. It's like a spa conference. You're looking for merchandising products, massage chairs, pedicure chairs, things like. Is that more what it's leaning towards, or like massage convention? I'm thinking like there's like rollers and the beds that people walk around and travel with to go to clients' homes, or if you're like a retail brick and mortar, like the beds to have, is it more product based? Or
So
product based?
so it's kind of half and half. So here's the thing: the real premise of the site is for, anything and everything spa, where spa people meet, right? So it's spa professionals, as well as people who support the spa industry, as in suppliers, products, even people who design spas.
So,
just this a very broad place.
No, you bring up okay, so there's a few key things we need to keep in mind here. So let's say you want to make a directory that includes all of that, those resources and data. When we're approaching those companies, there's a few things that we have to think about. Number one is who or how many decision makers are there? Right. So for, I don't know, there's companies that make like jacuzzi spas, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like these are like corporate companies, or they're pretty established companies. And to get their attention, they might be more structured, and they only have budgets for like booths at events and conferences, and they're not really thinking, or there really is no decision maker there, or it's going to be like a Zoom meeting, or you need to have a media kit. You need to do an in-person pitch to them to join your site and things like that. So who or how many decision makers are there is an important question. And then how long is that process going to take? Now, one way to fast track all that, I'll just give you a shortcut. Let's say you go that route and you're going to go after all the major manufacturers of spa equipment and stuff like that. What you should do is just yourself is add links for their competitors, for some competitors, and then show them the decorated profiles of their competitors. And you say, Spa USA is here. Don't you want, Jacuzzi USA to be here too? You guys should be here too. So add links for some competitors and leverage those when you're pitching or when you're going.
So my thought process too was to, not to take up too much time here, but my process too was the long list of some of the top shows that I have. Every expo has exhibitors, right?
Yep.
And so I'm wanting to give the highest membership that I have available to those shows, because if I give them the highest one and they are on the website and I help them to populate their page, then they're there. And then all of their exhibitors, and I can even tell them, hey, I'd like to also give you 10 memberships to give away to your exhibitors, to some of your exhibitors or what have you, and package it that way to let them know, hey, come on in, use the product. I'll give you a whole year membership and then something to give away to your exhibitors.
So
that's my marketing plan. I mean, well, not the whole plan, but
no. I love that. So, you keep using the name is spa event. So it really is, it starts, it is expos and conferences and events, and then it can trickle out to like products and things like that. What I would, my first knee jerk reaction is find the 5, you need categories, right? So if you're going to be spa events, what I would ask ChatGPT, what the top 5 categories would be. You said a few, you said massage. I'm thinking jacuzzi.
Aesthetics, skincare. There's no jacuzzis, because that is a whole other industry.
That's fine. I would pick 5. I would pick 5.
Okay.
And then what I would do is these shows and expos, they are brands of themselves, right? There's different shows and expos, but they should have a profile of their own. So I would create a profile of the shows and expos. I would just do 5. I like round numbers. I would do 5 massage expos or events or conferences, 5 skincare, and 5 other ones.
Equipment or
equipment, sure. Make them, and then what you should do is, and then when you create their profile, go ahead and post make a post of their upcoming event. So, and now have all these expos on there, and then say, and put their competitor on there as a featured expo, right? Because you're gonna have 5 different ones, and start pitting them against each other, not in a negative way, but in a competitive way. And you have a professional media kit ready. It can be a 1-pager. and you just tell them it's $250 for a month to be featured at the top of our site. We can do that a month before your expo begins. That's the best way to, that's how most of our members have the most success. We can give you a highlighted package. We can put you on our homepage. Really, they're paying for visibility, and this is an advertising move for them. No one's going to pick up the phone and call them. They want to sell tickets or they want to get booths sold. So there's like two markets there, are the vendors and then the consumers or end user who would go there for the booths that are there. So that would be my suggestion, is to start with the 5 and 5, find 5 categories, create profiles for the 5 expos, go ahead and manually list some of the upcoming events. Make a one-pager media kit. They should know what they're paying for or what to expect if they pay $250, $500, $1,000. You know, and we have webinars on what you can offer and stuff like that. Let me give you one that'll be helpful, and we can move on, because I do see a few other hands up here.
I didn't want to take up too much time.
No, it's a good and valid question. You know, these people want to do everything for everyone, and that's usually not the best route, because you know, you're a solopreneur, you're going to spread yourself thin. So it's better to get strong in one focus, and then you can expand once you kind of grow a bit. So I think it's the 15 plus upsells members will pay for. And I would watch this webinar towards the end, and there's another one I'm going to show you too. This is good for everyone to watch. These are just 15 additional things you can upsell to members. Even if you just have free member signups, these are other things that they can upgrade to. And let me find the other one. It's highlight, I think. Let's see if I can find this one. No, I'm not going to find it right. I think it's, let me search for upsell one more time. That's that same one there. No worries. That first one has a lot of benefit in it. So thank you for the question, though. This is a really good topic.
Okay, thank you. I still need to know about the, you know, how to run the SEO for that, but I can put something in a chat or something.
You know, SEO will happen over time, and as I mentioned before, your BD site's SEO is already like established, like it's already set up. You can kind of rewatch this if you need to enhance it further, but I would focus on basically creating FOMO for these expos and whoever you're going to contact. By kind of leveraging them against each other, by decorating one profile over another, and having that one pager that has the what they can purchase, like a media kit almost.
Okay, sounds great. All right, thank you so much.
Good luck. Join us in another webinar, Veronica. We'd love to see your progress. All right, we do have some more hands up here. Let me see here. I got our good friend Brian B. How you doing, Brian?
Pretty good, and you?
Pretty good. Thanks for hanging in there with us here.
No problem. I just had like a recommendation, just a quick one here. So I noticed how you were talking about like on the homepage you have like the display, and you wanted to put the star ratings and stuff underneath that. But like on the profile or whatever, I don't see like anything that says member is online right now, which would also be kind of cool, because if you can see a member's online, and it could like link in with the private chat system and everything. So like you'd be more apt to message somebody that's like online right now versus somebody that's not online, if that makes sense.
True. You could repurpose the verified. I'm just thinking of existing variables that exist, and change it from verified to online now, and add that to their contact form and allow them to toggle that. And just update the existing text labels around that. That's just the first knee-jerk reaction I have on how you can kind of implement that with something that already exists. Second to that, you can kind of just if you need to recreate that, you could technically do that if repurposing the verified badge doesn't work for you.
Yeah, so I was actually trying to like make it so like if the user was like logged into their account, that it would basically display an online message, but the only thing I can see is like user ID, cookie session, but that's for the user that's actually currently logged in, not for the user that you want to see if they are logged in, if that makes sense.
Right. Another thing which might be interesting, and like a lot of these like service apps like Yelp or Thumbtack, they have like a response and average response time 15 minutes. That would be an interesting stat that we might be able to create based on the private chat messages, because those are like the one-on-one thing. So how long does it take them to respond to the initial chat message? And all that is subtracting the time from when the message is created till when the member first responds. And then you can have like a threshold where it only, an advanced setting where if it's less than 15 minutes, show this badge and then put the number. So you don't want to say like average response time 4 hours, or unless you want to. I see that though. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm just thinking of the quickest way to get there for you. Average response time badge based on initial private chat response, because that's the only dynamic thing that's really going back and forth between like a consumer trying to reach out to a professional who's browsing your site.
Yeah, I was toying around with like because I actually got it to where like I can make it say like the person last updated by just adding like a PHP, like what is like the current date, and then I just put that in there with PHP and then hide it. But then if they've updated any of their profile pages, I have to put it on each page, So then, that's the closest I've gotten to like online now, is like last updated kind of thing.
Last update is also a good start to fill you. The private chat would be good. Sometimes they're logged in and they just don't log out. They just close their computer or laptop, and technically they're logged in on the internet, but they might not be at the computer. I can kind of see that sometimes being problematic. But there's ways around that. It's interesting. It hasn't come up too much, to be honest, but it would be a nice little stat now that you're mentioning it.
Cool. Thank you.
So thank you for that. Yeah, good stuff, Brian. All right, let's go running a little over time here, but the conversation is really good today. All right, let's see who else got their hand up here. Let's circle back to Rich here. Rich, why don't you take us home here? We went over like 40 minutes, but again, good conversation. What was the last question you had for us there?
Yeah, great stuff. Again, Jason. One thing, just a compliment overall, I've noticed with what's unique about Brilliant Directories as opposed to some other online services or websites, yada yada, is that when you guys release updates, there tends to be no glitches. I've been a customer for quite a few years, and it's unusual to have a website without, it doesn't. The rollout of their roadmap always seems to have some glitches, and so knock on wood, that's the way it's been happening.
Well, I don't want to take credit, but I'm going to give a shout out to Jeffrey Wyatt. Our chief operations. Sometimes things do happen, but we're quick to roll them back, so they go unnoticed maybe. But yeah, we do have a pretty thorough QA quality assurance process before things get pushed out. So shout out to the development team.
Big time, super impressive, yeah, and very unusual with all the moving parts. So quick question really on the SEO. Well, first on the SEO, that was a very great tip of the week and great in-depth information, so forth. One thing we've done is, we use Google Alerts, and I'm sure you're familiar with that, but it wasn't part of the SEO presentation. But we get alerts on a pretty regular basis of, based on what we submit to Google Alerts, showing us our traffic and organic, traffic and so forth. But the actual question, the last question I had was on the SEO. I did the changes in real time, which you were explaining, to the SEO settings, but I'm getting kind of a partial update. I don't know if you go to like our homepage and try to click on the social media links.
What's the site?
Podcastersdirectory.com.
That's right.
And I had it on like one of our features pages, but I added the share this page on the homepage, and I updated the SEO settings, and it updated some of it, but it still carried over some of the older stuff too.
I think I may know why. So we're on your home page here. Let me go to the edit static page, right?
Okay.
And let's see what you've done here. So under SEO settings, so you're saying this title is not getting picked up, or which part is not getting picked up on?
Well, if you click on the page, you'll see that's what should be picked up. but then when you scroll down about halfway down is the share social media right there. Click on Twitter, for example. It's an easier one, I think, to illustrate. And maybe it's a cache or a cookie situation on my end.
Yeah, I can show you. Well, yeah, so these sites cache shares. They'll update them over time. So let's see what happens when we do Facebook real quick. So you've entered, let's just backtrack here. So you've entered just one sentence here, the community for podcasters, speakers, and authors.
Yeah, I changed all that, actually, all those boxes, but I wasn't sure where they'd appear.
Okay, it's saying member directory, find members, podcasters directory. So what we want to do is this. I'm going to share you a link. Facebook, they used to call it delinter. They called it something else. Now it's called a debugger. So what we want to do is take your URL. And you should do this on all your super important changes. Again, they have their own mechanisms, but I'm just curious what this is going to do. It's going to reset their cache and rescrape your site. So
yeah, because LinkedIn is real bad about that. Like I did something unrelated with Sun Fox today on LinkedIn.
So this was last scraped in 2021. Interesting why they would do that, but I don't know why. Let's rescrape it now. 2 seconds ago. So now it's the correct one. Let's see here for based on the raw tags podcaster directory. Let's look at your source code as well. And what we want to look for is we'll search for OG image here. It should be taking this here, the title, the community for podcasters, speakers, and authors. This is the OG title, description, and the image head. Let's see what it took here. It is a caching. It got the right image, but it's not. It's chosen to take see the OG title here. Your OG title is right here, the community of podcasters, speakers. Facebook has been buggy recently with their images. That's a known thing. Let's see if it took the description. The description, search the most. It looks like it's taking.
But see, I updated all that. Now that was what used to appear a few minutes ago, but I did it live during the webinar, and I replaced. I'm not sure if I put in all the right boxes as far as the SEO settings.
Right here is going to reset this real quick.
Yeah.
Let's just check one more thing here. Select your SEO settings. It should be pulling from here. Your OG description is right here. There it is. We believe to be heard.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's get rid of the home up here and scrape this. URL returned a bad HTTP response. Oh, let's see why that's happening too. Should be all good. Let's see. Let's try one more time for you here.
I mean, those share links that I put on there, I'm not sure where those originated from, because it looks a little wonky the way it spreads out. Like,
these are this is main for the sidebar. Since X updated, they don't fill the width. This is coming from Twitter. It's an iframe. So they don't
click on the Twitter one because it kind of updated partially on Twitter. See, now went back to the original. Yeah.
See that? Yeah.
But when I clicked on it,
let's see what they have for that.
Can you put that link in the chat too? Because then I can use this, moving forward, these debuggers.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a scenario there.
Absolutely. Let me get rid of the link here. You just have to be logged into Facebook to get prompt with this. So just know that. Okay, let me share that link there. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to take a look at that after the webinar and see why that might be happening, because everything is coded properly, but maybe we're missing something here. Yeah, this is not correct. There's member directory is nowhere in your look. If I search for member directory in your source code, just a moment, let's come here and search for that actual explicit text. Member directory. It's here, browse member directory, but it's not in it. That's the only member directory on this page. So it's very strange that it's choosing this here.
That was what it used to. Okay.
That's right. I'm going to take a look at this actually in a little. I don't have an answer for you right now, but I want to see why it's saying this bad response code. Something related.
Maybe try your demo site. See if maybe side by side. to see if, and notice like in my settings, did I do something incorrect there?
Let me check your robots real quick, just a second. That's what we're pushing an update to add this to all sites next week.
Okay.
Let me restore your default real quick. What they've wanted is this new one here, this Facebook external hit. That's what's being added. So that's because of this, their little glitch that they had. They're forcing all sites to add this to their robots. So we're adding this to all BD robots that don't have, that are using our default code. Let's try this now, because now I'm actually curious.
I make the robots happy, yeah.
Yeah, the robots are the crawlers. So scrape again. Nope, still doesn't like that. I'm gonna check this one out for you, Rich. I don't have an answer just yet for you.
No worries. I mean, do you want to do like compare your updates on your demo site?
I would. Well, I don't want to take up any more on the webinar time here, but I would create a support ticket. I would also ask in the Facebook group, and I'm pretty curious about this one. I'm going to compare it after the webinar here to see what could be causing this warning here, because everything to our eyes looks correct here. But thank you for bringing that up, Rich.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, good stuff there. Our good friend Rich there. Guys, we went way past the time here, but it was a super informative webinar. Thank you so much. The next webinar is in 2 weeks. A big shout out to David Rockland putting together these slides. Super valuable tip of the week, where to make edits to optimize your BD website's SEO. Lots of good lap updates coming down the pipeline. I'm anticipating the next 2 months are going to be very exciting in BD land. We will post the replay of this webinar shortly after in the Facebook group. If you're not a member, join us, brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. And again, subscribe to the BD YouTube channel, brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube. I'm so humbled and grateful. There were amazing questions today, and it was tons of fun. Truly a great honor to be with you guys here today. On behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you guys so much. Have a great day and a brilliant week. The next webinar is in 2 weeks. We'll see you there. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.